Let me let me just begin. I grew up in an alcoholic family, and both my parents were alcoholics. A very violent home. A lot of embarrassment, a lot of fear on my part from the time I was a little kid growing up. I saw a lot of things that most people wouldn't want to see or experience. And I made it till I was 18 years old. I was an athlete. I played, I was an all-Albany football and basketball player and played baseball. And but that was my outlet. That's how I got my recognition. And the best thing about that was I also bonded with a series of guys that I grew up with who are great friends even today. Terrific crowd of people, and there was the peer pressure was not to drink or drug. The peer pressure was to go to church, be good, clean kids, play a lot of sports. So they were terrific role models, and their parents were. And their parents became surrogate parents to me. But as I got older, I finally made it till I was 18. It was my senior year in high school. And I was with a bunch of people who were out partying. And a guy handed me a drink and said, "It's just like a soda. You won't know the difference." I had just turned legal. I was just 18. And it was a 7-7. And I had 7-7. It tasted like a soda. He said it would. I had another one, had 3 screwdrivers. And as I've said 1,000 times before, my life went to Technicolor. Everything was great. I was smarter, I was funnier, all the fear went away, and I said, I like this stuff. This isn't what my mother and father were drinking. I didn't want to beat anybody up or do anything like that. All I wanted to do was laugh and have fun. So fast forward, I went through college. I played 3 sports in college, and I drank alcoholically all the time. Got married 3 days after college, had 4 kids in 5 years. Had to carry 2 or 3 jobs sometimes, but also I was able to drink every day. I only drank beer. I didn't run around, cheat on my wife or anything else like that. None of that stuff went on. I tried to be a good father, a good husband, and a good employee, but my reward always was alcohol. And a long time went by, another 20 years, and finally at the end it was falling apart for me. And I couldn't function. My drinking had progressed to the point where I couldn't carry a job. I had gotten fired. I lost the business. My marriage was on the rocks, and finally, I had an opportunity to go to a 12-step meeting where I got a really image of hope. And from that point on, my life changed. I stopped drinking. I had a compulsion to drink was lifted. I then went out and tried to help a lot of other alcoholics. I got connected with people in recovery. 5 years after that, I was able to make a career change, come back and became a counselor. And in doing my counseling, I found I had a lot of great instincts from being in sales for 25 years. I was selling the best product in the world, and that was recovery. And I believed in it, and I could get my points across, and I knew how to tell the story and sell it to most of my clients. Most of my clients were responsive, let's put it that way. A lot of them are still sober today and are really good friends. But I had good instincts. I knew what to do. I knew how to intuitively say things and do things. I did groups, I did family counseling, and I was good at it. And I knew I was good at it because people kept telling me I was good at it, and I loved that. That was the joy of it. The money wasn't good. The money was terrible. The paperwork was terrible, but it was being able to make a change in people's lives and have somebody come up to you and give you a pat in the back and say, I can't thank you enough for what you've done. There isn't enough money on the face of the earth to be able to get that kind of stuff. And I've been doing that ever since, and I love it. This is SAIR is a labor of love. I've been fortunate enough to work with a fellow recovering person, Joel, and who's dynamite too. We're a terrific team, and we're moving ahead. And that's really what we really want to do, is grow SAIR, keep SAIR growing, and so more people will be exposed to it, and then we can help those people.